Hello, everybody. This is Zero to Hero, where everyday Canadians are getting ahead with real estate. This is the show where we dive into the success stories of several real-world investors. We dive into the strategies that help take their business to the next level. You get to know the who, learn the how to get what you need to succeed. Today, I'm with my special man, Dario Silvestri. He is a family man of 5. He has over 13 years experience being out in Asia. I don't know how many people can say that, over which he got his MBA and a lot of experience in real estate, to which he transitioned to Canada, where he is a realtor and a real estate investor doing big things. And I'm so excited because I think there's a lot that we can get out of this conversation. Dario, I want to thank you for coming on. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on, Daniel. I'm very excited to be here and a little bit nervous myself, actually.
Oh, you're going to be all right because you're going to provide a lot of value. The reason why I wanted you to come on is because there's something really special about how you've gone about real estate. See, many people talk about how they need money. They gotta, they gotta have 10 plus years experience, or they gotta own a property already, this, that, and the third. And the truth of the matter is, you don't have to have any of that. You just got to have a willingness to put yourself out there. And I believe that is something that you've done exceptionally well. Can you just talk to me about where in Canada you're from and what the real estate market is like over there?
I'm up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, which is northwestern Ontario. Some people have heard of it. We're often confused with North Bay. Thunder Bay is essentially the hub of the north. So if you're breaking out of the GTA area and coming through Canada up west, you gotta pass through Thunder Bay. It's a beautiful city to raise a family, and it's a nice little medium-sized town. We got our university here, our hospital, and our research center. So we've become a very popular place for students to come down, doctors doing their early residency and whatnot. So our markets here are a lot to do with the rental. We're not a high price market like Southern Ontario, so we're very affordable to get into, but we got very comparable rental rates. So that's where I've taken Thunder Bay in my investing portfolio. I look at it in that regard as opposed to what you guys are doing down south so much with the big numbers.
That's phenomenal. And you know what I love about where you're from is because it just goes to show you that you don't have to be around a big city in order to be successful in real estate investing. And you in particular, you've done a really good job of educating people about what the market is like over there and how you can still get really, really healthy returns. Can you talk to me about how you started that process with getting people interested in your market?
To be honest, it's thanks to CashFlow Tribe. As you said in the beginning there, I do have quite a bit of experience with real estate. My father was into it. So from a very young age, I was in real estate, but I also learned the way my father invested in real estate, which is you're going to make more money by saving a couple dollars here or doing a little bit extra work there, taking on as much as you can yourself, because the more money that comes to you, the more money you have. But it's obvious that's not the best route to do it because you end up wasting up too much of your time. So I had to show that Thunder Bay it's one of those towns that, like I said, if you're looking for flips and stuff like that, that wasn't the market that we had. I had to get together with other people in CFT that were just as new and novice in the investing part of real estate as I was, and work through it together. So the first partner I met in CFT, that's really what sparked the whole thing. And from there, it's just been rolling like that. And absolutely, like I want to educate people about Thunder Bay as much as possible. We are very different markets from down south, and a lot of the things that you pointed out at the beginning, the distance between me and the bigger markets, that was probably my biggest challenge when I decided to join CashFlow Tribe and then Council.
So talk to me about that process, how you began educating people about the market. Did you focus on the infrastructure as far as the employment numbers, the number of industries in there, or like the vacancy rates? What were some of the things that you would teach or share with these investors that really got them interested in investing in Thunder Bay?
I'll be honest, even at the very first level, like I said, it's quite unknown, Thunder Bay, really. Like they know where it is, or they might have heard of it, but really nobody knows what Thunder Bay is about. What's it about? Are we just comparing it to other similar sized cities across the province or across the country, or what makes it special? So I really dove into that, telling them what Thunder Bay is about and what we've become as a city. The fact that we are a transportation hub, and that's a big part of our infrastructure. We service the whole northwestern Ontario, all of our Indigenous communities up north. And the fact that our university, while it might not be the most famous in the country, it does serve the whole part of the province. And we do have one of the larger provinces. So those are the points that I really like to bring to light about Thunder Bay. There is the opportunity for real estate investing. So what's the city about and where's the money to be made in the city?
That's really cool. And so you are also a realtor. And so did you get your realtor license knowing that you'd be diving into real estate investing this much, or what was the whole plan for becoming a realtor?
The first flip I did, I took that approach where I have to do as much as I can and save as many dollars as I can on be it materials or labor and all the rest of these things. And I found that it took me a lot longer, 9 and 10 months. And at the end, the realtor in 2 days sold the house, and she made her nice 5% commission off of that. And that made me angry. So, so I went and got a license, right? I wanted to know why they're getting those kind of dollars, right? So the best way to do is to learn it. And that's the kind of person I was. So I became a realtor a little bit for 2 reasons. One, access to the information, the data you got, the MLS, all the systems with the real estate. That's one thing. And again, in these positions where at the time I'd have to pay a realtor, I thought, well, I could be a little bit cheap and I can do it myself and I'll save those extra dollars. My view of the realtor position has changed a little bit. Now it actually helps me provide a lot of services to people that partner up with me because I do have access to that information. I can really get a little bit deeper with the diligence because I do have access to this information. So it turned out to be a really good decision, despite it coming from a little bit of a negative kind of background.
I think that's super creative. And I think you found a really cool way for how you can leverage a skill set, not just simply for serving yourself, but even for serving others. Right. And I think that's valuable. And I think that's one golden nugget I want who are listening to this podcast to understand. You don't have to go a traditional route and do it a traditional way. Figure out what opportunities you can fill in exchange for value or monetary gain. And you absolutely can be the point person to service those people or that group. And so you're actually doing this in many relationships that you have. You spoke about CashFlow Tribe and other relationships. So what does this look like today as far as your current relationships? How are you utilizing your skills, your knowledge of your marketplace and the deals available to leverage and partner with people that you come across with?
Well, you kind of hit on it all the way through there. It's my access to the information and being the representative up here. So those are the biggest values I can provide with the Thunder Bay markets. So with my partners, I really put it all out there for them. And like I said, the first partner I came up with was while I was still just in CFT. Again, we partnered up. We both had a lot of things that we didn't know. We kind of helped each other on this. And I provided those details and that information. And then, again, once we got that first one down, we got the first proof of concept in there, how we're going to pick up the property. We reached out to more people. So I picked up 3 more partners out of council. Again, partnering up with some other great teams in here, Mark and Alex with Clydesdale. I'm looking to partner up with Alice and Keith over in Blue Ocean's property. This is what the plan was when I stepped into CFT, using people that already have that foundational knowledge, that foundational motivation to move towards real estate investing. When I don't have to start each conversation with why I'm in real estate, it really helps accelerate things. And I found that CFT and council were the best places to do this for me, especially considering my proximity to the GTA being so far away. It really was, I can't express it in a positive enough way, because being in a smaller community, it does limit the exposure you got to that kind of mindset and thinking. Being in CFT and council, it was like opening the floodgates. There's a whole bunch of people that think the same way as me. Now I could focus on what I do best and what my value is. And like I said, it was knowing the markets, having the education as a realtor, the experience as a builder, and really knowing Thunder Bay. So
that's amazing. I find that you have been the example of what it looks like to really capitalize on building relationships. See, like many people don't really understand the value of a smaller room, because you think, oh, the more people I'm around is the more people I have access to. That may be true on a surface level, but when you are focusing on quality rather than quantity, the amount of quality conversation you have doesn't need to be over 100. As a matter of fact, if you just have 5 really high quality conversations that help move the needle towards your goals, you don't need to talk to the other 95 or however other many people.
Absolutely.
And so for you, what would you say? Why did you join council? Did you know that was this the main reason, or was this something that you kind of came across and thought it was additional value?
It was the main reason. Getting next to these people, being in those rooms was the absolute reason. And you're right. Refining that room is important. Getting in the right room, CFT was the first step. I'm around a couple thousand people that are all thinking real estate, but that you're right. That doesn't That doesn't make it the best 2,000 people to talk to in my personal situation. From there, now it's an easier process of refining the people that have the same strategy as me. We're all in real estate, but which ones are running the same direction as me?
Right.
So getting CFT and then into counsel, like I said, it keeps refining my group of people that now I'm with 5-10 people that all are looking for buy and holds and to build a big portfolio that will cash flow for us and provide us equity to leverage. So again, refining that room is right. Getting in the right space was the first step. CFT counsel for me, again, once I seen what I did my self-tests on CFT. I listened to Ben from back in February 2020. That's when I first came across him. I started listening to him. You know, I'm skeptical like everybody else. You know, you see a lot of things on the internet, right? So I listened to him. I listened to his strategies, his progress. I watched CFT go from a few hundred people to a few thousand people now. So I've seen the growth, and this is over just a year. So you guys have done fantastic, and there's good reason you have, because you do provide a lot for people that join the team. And like I said, that was the first step. I got in that room. I tested some of the theories and strategies that he was playing out, and they worked. You know, I just started calling people like they said, call people. I called the people. Throw out the VTVs. I threw out the V and I throw the VTV and I nailed it. Talk to partners. I talked to partners and I got one. So everything that they were saying were ringing true. So why would I not commit to that next step? Like I said, that was the number one reason, because I had proof of concept through CFT coming into council. And secondly, I needed to put something out there that really essentially burnt the ships, kind of. You know, absolutely. In council, it's like this. My wife isn't going to let me go throw out that amount of money and sit on my ass and do nothing.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You put that out there, you better go out and get it back.
You got to go out and produce.
Exactly, right? So like I said, by the time I got to the point of getting counsel, which took me about 6 months of tagging along with CFT, getting on the pitch, and a couple other great opportunities that they provided for us. And like I said, I like where they're taking me. It's not one person in particular that I believe is the messiah of real estate investing, but it's all good knowledge from a whole bunch of good people that are going in the same direction as me. So it really was a no-brainer for the next step. And like I said, that it gave me the motivation.
But hey, I got to give you credit, because at the end of the day, the difference between you and another person is the level of action that you take. And you are an individual who, once you receive the knowledge and the expertise, you go out and apply it immediately, which is exactly why you have been able to generate the results that you've gotten. And so kudos to you, man. You are not where you are because of anyone else except for your own action. And so shout out to you. Now, with that said, I also want to just go into an example before we get out of here. Can you give me an example of a deal that you've been able to put together as a result of putting yourself out there, connecting with people to build relationships that results in deals? Can you give us an example of that?
Yeah, actually, I can give you. It's a kind of an ongoing. Like I said, the first deal I made with in CFT was a first partner on a duplex. We took that, we cleaned it up, we brought in 2 more partners from council, we picked up 2 more properties, and now we're at that third phase now where we've got our portfolio of properties, and we're looking to team up with more people out of either council, CFT, or outside of the group. But those were always our first targets first, because like I said, less explaining what we're doing, because everybody knows we're all flowing in the same direction. But
that's really cool that you mentioned that, though, because I want to really dive into that more aspect. What was the conversation like, and what was the approach like in terms of doing the deal? Like, because I'm thinking the people that you're bringing in, they're not from Thunder Bay. They're not privy to it, but they know real estate, and they know real estate works as long as the numbers work. Was that type of conversation just about the deal? Was it walk somebody through that?
For me, yeah. I mean, the deal is the deal. Of course, the deal has to make sense and it has to make money. Now, the way I looked at it is like this. I could be that cheap like my dad was, and where I do all the work and I could try to save the money. That's one, but it doesn't work because the time is too long. So the second strategy I looked at, listen, if I do have to pay out that money to be at brokers or lenders or wherever it is, that's fine. Because like I said, if I get them rich, I get myself rich too.
Yep.
It would make a lot more sense to me being my proximity. Like I don't have exposure to the bigger group. So me being up in Thunder Bay, I said, listen, the deal is good. Let's get in. But here's the thing. I want you to stay in the group. So any money that I got to spend on expenses, I want to keep it within the group. First, it starts with the immediate partnership that I've made. Second comes with counsel, because like I said, these are my immediate next level of network that I can
Yep.
reach out to for support. And they are always there. That's the great thing. That's what I got to say about my last year here. I've always had support, be it either knowledge or financially through the group. And
Right.
like I said, it just goes through the tiers like that. The more money I can keep inside the snowball, essentially, again, I can pay Daniel a higher rate than I can get at a bank, but I know that Daniel's there tomorrow when I need more money for the next deal.
That's a really, really great point. Absolutely.
Right. So, and if Daniel's got more money in his pocket to invest, he becomes a better and better investor for me, a partner for me. And that's what I look to do. If I can make you rich, I know moving forward, my path's going to be a lot easier because you're happy, your pockets are full, and I'll just keep making sure that the deals are there. And we can
keep going and going and going.
Exactly.
Perfect. So my question to you is this. Let's say someone is listening to you, Dario, and they're actually very, very much inspired. They realize, even if I'm from a town that's not highly recognized, it's not really close to the major cities recognized in Canada, but I could still do this. What are the first 3 things that you'd recommend them do? Step 1, step 2, step 3 that you would say right now that you would, if they want to be on the same path?
Sorry, but first thing I would say, get that shitty thought out of your mind. It doesn't matter where you are. This isn't 1921. We're in 2021. Okay, I love it. We're pushing tech. The connections you can make now, you can practically be anywhere you want. So the excuse that you're in a small town, it's a non-starter anymore. And if anything, I'll prove that to you. Okay, because like I said, that shouldn't be your restriction.
Right.
Get out there. If you don't have the pool around you, get out there and start finding it. Get into CashFlow Tribe. Get into Council. These are the groups you need to be in. There's more than enough opportunities to get online and talk with people. You got a plethora of different programs going on every day. How many different connections can you make in there? Where you are has no more excuse. And this works the reverse way as well. The people that are in the big cities and big centers and do have a lot of networking possibilities and close, don't exclude these smaller markets up here. In the same way, you'll have connections up here, and you'll also find a market that isn't quite as active, not as competitive. And like I said, it depends on what your game is.
Right.
There's places anywhere. And I believe that any piece of property is a good piece of property. That's the way. If you give it enough time, any piece of property will evolve into something that makes you money. Ideally, you'd like something that hits you right off the go. But again, those right there, where you are is no longer an issue. So if you're using I'm in a small town as an excuse, get bigger, get the internet.
That's right.
I mean, what can I tell you? You know what I mean? And the same way, people in the busy centers, there's no deals out here. There's nothing going on. And listen, there's nothing that's stopping you. It takes you 2 seconds to get on the internet. You don't have to drive to Thunder Bay, but I can find you deals up this way, right? So really,
so step 1 is the mindset. You got to shift that thinking, right? What's step 2? Would you say it's going out there talking to people? Or?
You know what I mean? People, again, I get very excited, very animated. People, when they join CFT and council stuff, I know some are expecting the answer. This is the path. This is the walk.
100%.
You know what I mean? I don't see it that way. I never have. These are the people that are walking that way. What are they doing? How are they good? Why is that guy? Why does everybody like him or her? Or what are they doing so special? Right? It's the mindset. If you know where you want to go, then you should be confident. You really got to turn on yourself now and really believe in where you're going. If you don't have that confidence to get there, it's going to be a struggle. Like we were talking about earlier, people join CFT and council because they think that's going to provide them the path there. It's not there. It's more of an inspiration or a motivation or a confidence builder. You got a whole bunch of people that are going the same way. So I look at it like that. Those people, that seems to be where the goal is. Let's go that way. So that's how I kind of, that's how I grasp all this. There's enough people that are looking in the same direction to me that I have confidence in what my goals are achievable and realistic. So again, it was a lot about my self-confidence, being able to trust myself to be in this space.
Amazing. Oh man, Dario, this has been phenomenal. I believe we got to bring you back for part 2 because this was absolutely great. I think I'm very much inspired to continue to go out and do the very things that you're talking about. But it really does come down to changing your mindset. It goes both ways. It's not just about you being in a small market or even you being in a big market. You got to find a way to add value, and there's value everywhere. You just got to be able to build up your skills and extract that value wherever you are. And Dario is doing that amazingly in Thunder Bay. And so, Dario, really, really appreciate it. Any last words before we head on out of here?
You can do it. Understand this. One thing I've learned over the last year with CFD and council, as amazing are the people around you, it all comes down to me or you, the individual. If you have that belief, there's absolutely nothing stopping you. All of those things that you've put up in front of you, really, they're all illusions. They're illusions. Stay confident, stay driven, keep going toward it. It's achievable.
Stay confident and keep moving towards your goal. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Zero to Hero. I hope you took something out of it. Be sure to take action so that you can get results just like our guests that you've listened to today. Stay tuned for the next episodes, and we'll see you on the next one.